What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best evolutions you can currently make in FC24. There is a lot of popular ones, and with some of the evolutions such as the new one for the striker, because I have not a clue how to pronounce that, but it is TT. We have Rare Defender Upgrade, Midfielder Dynasty, Radioactive Maestro, Relentless meets Radioactive, Detail Oriented, Marauder, Hero Upgrade, Power Shot, Toughen Up, Pacey Winger 2, Relentless Winger 2, and also still the Founders Evolution. So there is quite a lot, and I'm kind of going off right now rather than when they do end, because some are 10 days, some have got 20, and obviously some have got nearly the 30 full days. And I'm also not taking into consideration how much they cost, because I don't know where all of them come from. Without having a full detailed list right next to me, I couldn't tell you where every single one is from without fully looking. So we're going to judge off what the upgrade actually can give. Starting off, straight off the bat, we've got some very good midfielders, and we can kind of guess where these ones come from at the minimum, because they are obviously radioactive cards. So alongside their upgrade, they also have the ability to have that chemistry. So what radioactive was basically the double chemistry standards for club, league, and nation. Now, in terms of these, I'm basing the ranking off how good the evolution is. So what does the card actually look like? Realistically, if I was to say, personally for me, Tchouameni is definitely an S+ evolution. I think when I look at Tchouameni, the upgrade is absolutely perfect. He's a solid card all round, and I do think he is one that is worth doing. I must admit, probably the other three could be there as well, because when we look at them, maybe Renato Sanchez is a hard one. We'll get onto him in a second. But Joe Linton, judging from the Thunderstruck card, really did enjoy it. The big thing that I'm going to be looking at as well is their weak foot, their skill moves, and the whole shebang around them. So obviously with Joe Linton, he's a 3-star, same as Tchouameni. Whereas, for instance, Renato Sanchez is a 4-4. That could push them up and down. To be honest, when I'm looking at the midfielders, I'm thinking more how they go in game. For instance, Tchouameni's 6'2", we've got 5'9" on Renato, and Joe Linton's 6'1". So there is a kind of ability there. I think for me, all three of these are a top tier sort of centre mid, especially when it comes to evolutions, if you are running that sort of account. Then we look at some of the others. I must admit, there's one card on here that I've just got to mention. Also with these populars, just as where did I get these from? Footbin, popular evolutions, and I've kind of gone down to like the 50 flame, so the 50 popular, because if you keep going down, you're going to find more and more players, but these are basically the top like 30 players that I could find, and at the minute, it could change second by second, but these were on there straight away. But this card is an interesting one. We've got a 91 centre-back. I actually don't know the path, so I'm going to have a look, because he goes from, I believe, a 70 rated silver, which, if I can find him, that would be outstanding. He is a 70 rated, and I don't know what. This would be, as well, a final evolution, so there is no more putting him into this. So he goes from Toughen Up to the TT1. Oh, no, he goes, yeah, straight into the T1. So he goes... Does he go that much from Toughen Up, surely? Oh, no, here we go. So he goes from Relentless Winger. So this one actually can't be done, unfortunately, but it's still a good one. If you put him in Relentless Winger, you could have then put him in Relentless Winger 2, Detail Oriented, the TT1, into then the Toughen Time. Or the Toughen Up, sorry. That is absolutely nuts if you found it. He can be a centre-back, a striker, a left wing, and a right wing. That is just incredible. The card is practically useless. Like, he's a 2-star, 3-star, but the fact that you can get a 70 all the way to a 91, that was the whole point of evolutions. In terms of the card itself, it's bog standard at best, but realistically, it's a lovely upgrade. If you was a fan of... If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. Daegu FC from the South Korean League, K-League, then yeah, you're going to be absolutely loving life. Then we look at someone like a Garnacho, really happy with his sort of card. I know he has an inform that's very close, and that also has to be taken into consideration, that how much are they upgraded? When we look at Cancelo, for instance, he's got an 88, so there's not too much of an upgrade. You're just basically not paying for the card as such. With, obviously, Garnacho is a 3-star, 5-star. It's a good upgrade for him. I'd say I'd put him in kind of there, mainly because he needs that 4-star skill. If he's going to be an S+, he needs a 4-star skiller at the minimum. But when it comes to the evolution, he still can be upgraded. It's only these Evolution 4 cards that are technically maxed out. We do have 2 Dynasty players that look very, very nice as well. We have the Højlund's brother, and I believe is that Haaland's cousin, I want to say. Obviously, you've got the SBC for one, but both of them can be evolutioned through their Dynasty cards. So obviously when it comes to Haaland's cousin, Brought Bruns is how you pronounce his name, I think. But he is a 3-star, 4-star, whereas obviously Højlund's brother, a 3-star, 4-star. And I think in terms of the stats, we're looking pretty good. Both of them with 90 plus pace. Shooting wise, can add a finisher on, not a problem. You've both got 87 physical, dribbling, 92 and 93 physical. Them two are not bad strikers. I'd go mainly something like this for the kind of rating between the two. Mainly on that skill move weak foot. I'd probably go more Højlund than I'd go with Haaland's cousin. I think Cancelo is an easy debate, to be honest. I really like his Trailblazer anyway. So that is, again, just an added bonus. When it comes to, there is one, we've got Bultner, however you pronounce the name. He is number 1 on the list at the moment, and he looks absolutely brilliant. 88 rated. He has come from a 75 common card. That, for me, is not a bad shout whatsoever. Obviously, it would have to go through a few evolutions to get there. Relentless Winger into the... I don't even know how you pronounce it, the time evolution, power shot, into then the midfielder Dynasty. But whether you can fully do that is kind of the question, really. But in terms of a card, he's got very, very nice stats throughout. And then also we have the Brazilian striker. Now, this card is definitely worth your time. Hopefully, he can still be upgraded still, but he is second on the list at the moment, but is a 5-star, 5-star. That, for me, is a very good card nonetheless. Good passing, decent dribbling. You've got the 90 on the shooting already. If you wanted to add any sort of chemistry styles to him, you're looking straight out Hunter to pretty much max out as much pace as possible, as well as then getting the shooting bonus. That is a brilliant update nonetheless. If then we go through a few of the lower ones, Grimaldo, it's a nice upgrade. I think he's kind of coming in more of the A now, but he has got a second in form, in fact, that is already 87 rated. So it's kind of, it's semi-pointless, really. If then we've got a few others, we've got Szoboszlai, we've got Trossard. Trossard's a nice one, but I'd say he's very standard. Watkins has gone up from his normal card. I want to say, is it an 87 he's got? Yeah, it's an 87 Centurion, so just a +1. I quite like him as a striker, to be honest. I think that is not a terrible one for the striking role. And we do have quite a lot of them as well. This is the only issue. We can only put one in. So you've got to use that really wisely. Saliba, definitely a solid centre-back nonetheless. We then can move up this list, which is even better. Which then we've got a lot of strikers. Because we've got the evolutions yesterday or the day before, I think it was. We're going to have a lot of strikers in the more popular vote, so we will try and do this more and more, so we do catch every sort of evolution popular. Maybe kind of give it like 2 weeks, and then there should be a new kind of rotation of evolutions. We've got Danjuma. Pretty standard now, if anything. I do like his Foundations one, but unfortunately I chose Werner for my one to get a review on him. Danjuma was no, I didn't even do Danjuma. I did Nunez on the second one, which can be upgraded, but not quite to this level at the minute. So I think in terms of Danjuma, I'd go kind of bog standard. Martinelli is not a bad shout, but I do reckon he will get a card at some point. There is definitely no shadow of a doubt, because he is kind of one of the last ones from Arsenal now that is yet to have a card. So I think in terms of evolutions, it's taken him to the next level without having any other card. You've got to go with the gold at the very minimum. When he does get a card, more than likely that will drop down massively. Haller, love the rating. I think as a fodder rating, you're never going to grumble at a 91, but realistically, he's still going to be quite a bulky striker. It's kind of similar to Abraham, but Abraham does have that pace about him. He's not necessarily the most prolific dribbler, but definitely has the pace to kind of give him that backup as such. The one that I was really surprised they actually made was the 91 Osimhen. So we do have a 90 road to the knockout, which technically this evolution card has got 1 less shooting, 2 less defending, but 7 more on the passing, whether you count that as a big double or not. I think that is a phenomenal card going from the 88. And I want to know, with this striker one, it was 75,000 or 350k. That kind of makes a bit more sense now. Obviously, they're going to have more premium ones when you've got to pay. it's just a standard. And I think that's the same for Robbie Keane. I like the evolutions of the hero, but I just think it wasn't enough. And if they managed to kind of seclude the rating so it was kind of based around players that are not getting a UCL hero, that is fair enough, because then at least they are upgrading them without them being upgraded, if you know what I mean. You get to pick one at the very minimum, but unfortunately, it isn't enough for how much that really costs. Alvarez, another solid shout. The fact that he is an 87 striker and he has the same ability of his Trailblazer one, that is just absolutely crazy. I know, again, you've got to pay for it, but if you was to go, for instance, through FIFA points, that's not a terrible card nonetheless. It's 468,000 for the SBC version. When we look at this, you have got to go through quite an evolution progress again. You got Welcome to Evolution, Centurion Striker, Power Shooter. It's a big old process, but if you're already going for a card, say for instance you chose an Alvarez, you chose a Isaac, and they got an upgrade, then naturally your evolution should eventually come through, which is always nice to know. But I think that card is just brilliant. For how much it would have cost to get him there, that for me is way better than the price of obviously the Trailblazer, and to be fair, he's got better stats this way as well. Then we have Szoboszlai. I absolutely love this card. I think in terms of the upgrade, it is a shame that he got the radioactive, as I do think that was a nice card with the bonus, that obviously the radioactive chemistry. That for me is a really good bonus if you was making a team that isn't quite the normal standard Prem only. But it is what it is, unfortunately. You take your wins, you take your losses. But if that card can get upgraded again, it's going to be a nice one. Then we also have Akpom. I think, again, when it comes to these evolutions as well, if you're not after the big names, maybe you're going for your foundations to be upgraded for fodder later on, or you're just going for an arrangement of different leagues, different sort of nations, then you can get some really creative cards in there. Akpom going from his 85 foundations, I think he's a good upgrade. I don't quite know what skill move weak foot he's got. I know we have got him because naturally, if you've done the foundations, you should have pretty much most. He's an SBC that's actually, he's an SBC one actually. I didn't think he expired anytime soon yet, but still a very good one. The only issue with him, only a 3-star. It's gonna have some sort of kind of repercussions when you've only got that coming through. We then also have Goncalo Ramos, a beautiful inform. Well, it's technically a gold that you can go with, but his inform's there as well. I don't know if the inform, is it coming from? It is coming from the inform. So the inform into Centurion Striker, into the new evolution, so 350 points, turns him into a 90 rated striker with, what's his skill move weak foot? 2-star, 4-star. So if you could wait out and hopefully get a 3-star or at least a 4-star skill move upgrade, that could be a solid card. 90 on the pace, 88 on the shooting, 92 on the physicality. He's 6'1". It's definitely not terrible. The only thing, Tiki Taka Playstyle Plus, it's not necessarily the greatest, really, is it? Isaac, I think it's a phenomenal shout. In fact, he's one of them ones that I forget again the skill move weak foot for him. 4-star, 5-star, yeah, I was going to say. I knew that he was up there, that's why I questioned it, because he, again, is a great gold card from the very bog standard start of the game, but we knew that full well he was going to get evolutions at some point. Going from the time evolution into power shot, 87 rated. It's not terrible. He, again, would get the tiki-taka, unfortunately. Whether you could replace that later on down the line, it would be one of them evolutions that comes out as like a playstyle plus replacement. I think that would be a great evolution. There's some cards I could think definitely to go into that. Morata, standard, again like Hilaire, maybe a little bit better for the pace bonus, but he's not going to be in that top category. To be yeah, I'd kind of keep him at the bottom level there. And then finally we have Gundogan, more kind of your fodder card, if anything. I think he's kind of got to be in them higher rated. And obviously a lot of these cards will be in more of the top rating, purely on the fact that they are the most popular evolutions. I could pick another 50 evolutions and all of them would go into that B category. So this is based on the evolution card itself, the progress it can make, and the whole shebang. It's not based on, would Tchouaméni go against a Hullet in an S+? Of course not. It's all evolution basis. So let me know down below what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know if you've completed any. Take care. Peace.